Alright then, welcome along everybody to the qualifying and race here out in GFR then. It's for round 7 here in Mexico, and we have 17 minutes of qualifying on the clock just ahead of us with 12 drivers on the grid this weekend, so it's not as many as we are used to, but I'm sure we have some sort of crossover event, I think, which has made it so we have lost half the drivers for that, but still got 12 drivers in here, and from what I've seen already, they're the ones that I've commented on before, which put on a good show from what I've seen, so hopefully we do get a good show out here in Mexico then, as we get the track map up, and first driver out will be Azarakis then, in the Red Bull. And I think my game sounds fine, but if anyone's in the stream chat, and it's not fine, I would much appreciate that, as I will really quickly just see if I can share the stream about. As it is the Red Bull then, out there in the, on the outlap at the moment of Azarakis. It is Corey, who is actually in the pit lane. I don't know what I'm on about. It's PSP, actually, the other Williams car, who is just out there and behind Azarakis at the moment then here in Mexico. And I will really quickly just use this time to share the stream out a bit so you guys can get yourself in. Now let me just do that, and I'm gonna post the link in your guys's Discord, so if anybody needs it, you have got it there to watch. And there you go. So, as we're out here for qualifying then, with the best part of 15 minutes on the clock, and it is PSP Azarakis, who is just gone round into the wall, and that was a right commentator's curse from me doing it once again. That is what I'm known for then, as he goes into the wall. Then it's Tigano Amigo then. I want to call him Amigo. I think I called him Amigo last time. Yes, I did. Amigo in P4 at the moment, who is on a lap as well. And come around the final corner then, Azarakis, who will go to the line. And first time of the weekend, it'll be a 1 minute 17.8, as we have the, there's a Haas coming round. I think it's a Haas, is it? Is it a Haas? There's no Haas. Yes, there is. It's Venom. I am completely blind then as he goes around the final corner. And Venom will put his foot to the floor and head towards the line. Over the line, it'll be a 1 minute 19.4. But then Harry, to cross the line, takes provisional pole right up of Azarakis there. It's a 1 minute 17.1 for the Mercedes driver, with 13 minutes of qualifying on the clock then. Coming down the main straight, we have a Ferrari onto the line. It'll be the flying lap. Never mind. I think it's somebody else going across the line. Yes, it is. Gandot with a 119.6, last position at the moment. Then next car come around the corner. It's PSP into the pit lane. It's Amigo who comes on the final corner and towards the line. It'll be a second place there with 1 minute 17.4. Respectable time for Amigo then on that lap around. And that is lovely, lovely stuff from Amigo. And just got word that Drew's coming in a minute, so we're gonna get some talking, gonna get some action in the stream chat. So Gandot, who is definitely not on a lap because I've just seen him cross the line a minute ago. Across the line at the moment, I've just seen somebody go up there. I think it was Corey who is on a lap now. It's Venom into the pit lane. Hulu then takes provisional pole out of nowhere in the Ferrari. It's a 1 minute 16.5 and goes even quicker than Harry's time there. Knocks him off the top spot, and Hulu goes right up to the top at the moment. Is this Q1, Q2, Q3, or is this Q1? This is literally just Q1, Drew. This weekend. With a lovely little amount of 12 drivers, and if anybody's in there that didn't hear me say it at the start, we've got 12 because there's a crossover event apparently. There's an event that's crossing over with this, and it's required a lot of their drivers, and that's why we've got 12 of them in the race at the moment. Predictions soon. I cannot wait to hear them. So it's Corey Clover who is on his way through the windy and twisty second sector in that Williams car, and we'll see where he can put himself on the board today. He's 1 minute 19.3 fastest time at the moment, but that is definitely one of the times at the bottom at the moment. He's 3 seconds down on that time, so will not be a good one there. There's the Ferrari across the middle sector, 8 seconds down. I think, yeah, it's Hulu, actually, never mind, so he's just started a lap. Never mind, I mean, he went provisional pole a minute ago. We have PSP, who is on the outlap and will be the first driver out of the guys on the outlaps to start their flying laps then this weekend. As PSP then in the Williams will head towards the line and go on to start his flying lap. That Williams car absolutely flying then down the main long straight here in Mexico. And just behind that, it'll be Velocity going on to their flying lap. And as he crosses the line, it'll be PSP who just heads towards the first corner now. And at the first and into the second, flying his car through these corners and absolutely pushing his car towards the end of Sector 1. Then what can PSP's first time in Sector 1 be? It'll be a 28.9 and fastest in the first sector apparently. We'll have to see where that can get him then. As Velocity is heading towards the end of the first sector now, and we'll see where he can put himself at the end of this one. It is a 28.7 and goes even quicker than PSP in P8 at the moment. PSP into second sector now and going to try not to mess it up. Obviously, don't take too much curve through here. We'll see what he can do then as he has to let off the throttle a little bit there, but keeps it beautifully through there and over the second sector line he goes, and it is a 58.3. We'll go back to Velocity then, who is going through the second sector. He went quickest in the first. Can he repeat that then, going through the second sector? It's Velocity over that line, and it is quickest in the middle sector. Velocity is on for a rapid lap then as he goes into the stadium section. PSP just come out of it, over the line, and it's a P5 for the Williams driver who gets reunited with his teammate in P6 at the moment. But Velocity then, around the final corner, a bit of a moment there, but catches it, and now towards the line, and the Alpine will put himself into P4. Then he does go higher than PSP on that lap around, and it is a 1 minute 17.7. Not a bad effort at all then, as we have Rooster, who is on a lap, but I don't know how well he's doing this one. He goes into the pit lane, so clearly not very well. Amigo in the Alfa Romeo then on the outlap and towards the line onto the flying lap now, and clock will start ticking for Amigo as he heads his way down the main straight, and just behind that is Harry, who was on a lap but is invalidated, and he has 38% ERS, so I'm not sure if he's going to go again or not, but we'll have to see what he does. He goes into the pit lane. Venom then. Venom in the Haas, who will go around the final corner, and I think he's trying his best to go quicker, and he does go 4 tenths quicker but stays in P7 then, as the Mercedes comes behind him of Dan. And Dan now down the main straight. We'll see if he can put himself. Ferrari 1, 2, Hulu 1, Luigi 2, and Zawakis 3. To be fair, would be nice to have a Ferrari 1, 2, especially Luigi up there on the podium. I do love Luigi, because the only two people I actually know in here is Harry and Luigi. But I'm starting to get to know everybody now, which is nice to know. To be fair, every league that I commentate in now, I'm starting to get to know all the drivers, which is quite good. As do we have anyone else on the lap? It is the Alpha Romeo of Amigo, and takes down the Bollard on the way in to the pit lane. And it's Venom in the Haas at the moment, and we can see where he can put himself. Never mind it, because it's the Ferrari? That is nothing like a Ferrari. It's a Mercedes then. Into the stadium section. Apparently, Quick is in the middle sector, but it doesn't matter then because he crashes. And Dan's tyre comes right over that Mercedes. And that has ruined his qualifying lap then, and ruined his whole qualifying this weekend. Dan will be starting from dead back on the grid. As Gandot, who is going quickest in the middle sector and into the stadium section he goes. The Alpha Tauri then will push that car to the absolute limit as he heads around the final corner and towards the line. Can he go quicker this time in qualifying? Gandot to P6 then, 1.3 second improvement. And not too bad indeed. It is the Ferrari of Luigi on a flying lap at the moment, and the McLaren of Rooster on an out lap. And towards the start of the laps, we have Corey, who is on a flyer and heading towards the end of Sector 1. Where can he put himself? It is a 2/10 improvement. Nearly 3/10 improvement, actually. And apparently quickest in the first sector. So we'll have to see where this time can put himself. He does go wide there, but no invalidation at all, which is going to really be good for his time, as Corey is going to be absolutely pushing this car to the limits then. Through Sector 2 he heads, and obviously the technical part here, we haven't seen anyone mess up through here yet. Can Corey break that chain? No, he doesn't. He absolutely does it brilliantly then. Is Corey towards the end of Sector 2, and it is a 4/10 improvement. He is doing brilliant on this lap then, it is fair to say, as he heads into the stadium section. And the number 97 Williams car then heads around the final corner and towards the line here in qualifying. Fastest time, 1 minute 19.3. What will it be this time round? It'll be a 6/10 improvement, 1 minute 18.6, and it's P7 for him on the grid there then, as there's a Ferrari of Luigi to put himself in P6. And Luigi goes 1 minute 17.9, above Gandot, above Corey, above PSB, Venom, and Rooster, as Rooster is on a flying lap through the technical sector 2, and he did that brilliantly through there, absolutely brilliant, and he keeps it on the track. No invalidations, and he heads towards the end of sector 2, and it'll be a 58.9. Will this be a good time for Rooster? It's his first time of the weekend then, with 5 minutes of qualifying left, and we'll have to see where he can put himself as he heads through the stadium section and towards the line here in qualifying. He's at the back at the moment, but where can this lap put him on the grid then? As he heads towards the line, it'll be only one position up. It's 1 minute 18.8, as Venom with a 1 minute 19 flat is coming out to go even quicker this time around. Let's be honest, it will hard to beat Hewlett. Yes, it will. And I'm pretty... Harry, 6/10 improvement. And speaking of it being hard to beat Hewlett, I mean, the gap is only about 1/10 of a second now, so it is beatable with 4 minutes of qualifying. And I'm sure that Harry is going to try again. Maybe not this lap, but he is going to try to go quicker. So we'll see what they can do then. PSP out on a outlap at the moment. There's a Haas of Venom on the outlap. Just behind that, there is the Alpine of Velocity. Then comes Rooster, who will be going into the pit lane at the end of this lap because he's invalidated. And Rooster does go into the pit lane, and that is the end of that qualifying run for him. But we'll have to see if he'll come back out before the end of quali, as Venom is now on their flying lap. Just behind that is Velocity, who's on their lap, and just behind that comes Azarakis, who is in the Red Bull and P5 at the minute. Finish the lyrics. You are my fire, the one desire. Gonna get me singing now on stream. They're going to clip it. As PSP towards the line, and now starting that flying lap, it's Venom, who is going 7/10ths quicker in the middle sector, and it might not be a top time, but it will definitely, if he stays like this, be an improvement on his previous time. 1 minute 19 flat is the last time on the grid, and the one to beat. Can he go quicker than he heads towards the line? It's Venom, who goes to P9 and 3/10ths improvement. Believe when I say I want it that way. There's now 2 minutes of qualifying left, and everybody is coming out of the pit lane now to get their outlaps on the board. Venom will be going into the pit lane. PSP will be going into the pit lane, but everybody else who is out on an outlap will be trying their best to go even quicker on this qualifying session. We'll see where they can put themselves then. As it's Hulu, it's Amigo, Luigi, Gandot, and Rooster all on their outlaps at the moment and heading down the main straight. I think we have a car on a flyer, do we? I don't think we do. Is that someone going slow? And who is it on the... here it is, PSP. Who are going into the pit lane, will he? No, he won't. He's saved his battery. And PSP will be going around once again to try and put a good time on the board. His time's 1 minute 18.7. It's a P10 at the moment. Obviously, with there being less drivers, it isn't that bad. But he's going to really want to try and get himself up there. So we'll see where he can place himself towards the end of qualifying then. As Rooster starting their lap at the same time. And just behind that, I think I've just saw an... Is that an Azarakis quickest middle sector? Let's see where he can put himself then. 1 minute 17.8 on the board at the moment. Around the final corner he goes and puts his foot planted to that floor then of the car as Azarakis goes to P4. It's a 1/10th improvement, and that is a lovely time then. P4 for him on that lap around. Gandot is down. Venom's down. PSP is up by 1/10.5 then going through the second sector. And would it be quickest middle sector? We've seen a lot of that. No, it won't, but it'll be a 3/10th improvement in the second sector. PSP then into the stadium section. And can he get up there from P10 down in the bottom 10? And we'll see if he can improve then as around the final corner. The Williams is going to push it then to the line. And it'll be... Will it be quicker? It will be even 8/10ths, 2/10th improvement. And it's P8 for the Williams then. Corey River, I am getting all this wrong. Corey Clover then, his teammate in P9. It's Venom in P10 and will not be improving that lap around. Rooster towards the line, and Rooster will not be going quicker. Yes, he will. Half a second quicker and 7th position on the grid. It is Luigi, who Drew has predicted for a Ferrari 1-2. And as Luigi heads over the second sector, it is nearly a 4/10th improvement then. Can the Ferrari car find the time? Hulu goes quicker by 2/10ths there, and that is even quicker than his time before. Harry then at the very end, on provisional pole at the very end of qualifying. Luigi to the line, and it is a 3rd position. If Harry didn't get up there, it would have been a Ferrari 1-2, but Harry in the Mercedes comes across the line and spoils the Ferrari party this weekend. And it is Harry in the Mercedes to take pole position then here in Mexico. Oh, poor Drew. Poor Drew. Ladies and gentlemen, finishing results then for the qualifying session here in Mexico. It's Harry who came across the line and absolutely stole that party from the Ferrari boys in 2 and 3 and went on provisional pole by 2/10ths of a second there, nearly 3/10ths. And that is a lovely time then. It's Hulu 2nd, Luigi 3rd. It is Amigo in 4th, Fazarakis 5, Velocity 6. It is Rooster 7, Gandot 8, PSP 9, and Corey in P10. It's Venom 11 and Dan who rounds off the grid in P12 today. as I do believe we have a break. So if anyone's watching this and doesn't know, please don't ready up until they tell you to, which will be 8:55. 2, 3, and 4 are so close. I didn't even see it. Well, I didn't even look at it really, but qualifying time must have been very close between them. And as we were going into the race now, I mean, to be fair, I can't believe Harry at the end. That was crazy, to be honest. But it'll serve up for a good start of the race indeed. Definitely with that massive long run down into turn 1 as we are getting ready to go soon. With about a minute left to go of the break. And then we should be getting ready to go for the main race here in Mexico. I am hoping that we get some good racing action because obviously there only being 12. Sometimes there isn't always the best action, but we'll see what we can do. P4, the Alpha will lead into turn 1. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, with you and your predictions, mate, you're very, what's the word? I don't know. You're very broad. Like you kind of go for anyone, but then you always get it right. So, you know, we'll see what we can do then as we go into the main race. Should be soon then because it is 55 now, and that is when we're supposed to be going. And it is time then, as everybody will be ready up now, and we'll be getting ready to go for the race here in Mexico. As now, on the grid then for the formation lap. And I am hoping this doesn't mess anything up because the past few that I've been in, formation lap has absolutely ruined the race. We're about to restart, but with 12 drivers, it should be all A-okay then. 12 of us, and it is, you know what, before we start, I'll run down the order. It's Harry, Hulu and Luigi, Amigo, Azarakis, Velocity and Rooster. It's Gandot, PSP, Corey Clover, Venom and Dan all joining us for this weekend's race with 36 laps ahead of us. But hopefully they can serve up for some good racing action here for the GFR Twitch channel. And anyone in here that hasn't followed yet, if you could send the GFR Twitch channel a quick follow, I'm sure they would much appreciate that. So if you have not done that yet, just click the button to follow us, and they will much appreciate that, as we are heading round the final corner pretty much soon. I mean, I've got the worst hiccups before the start of the race. That's not good. I can't lie, when it comes to racing IRL, Mexico is like one of the worst ones. I'll be honest, I was thinking that earlier, and I'm hoping that's not the case today, because I did Mexico I did Mexico, I think, last week for another league, and it was it's kind of boring. So hopefully this one's all right then, as the last few drivers are lining up on the grid then here in Mexico. As finally then, formation lap complete, as now the lights are ready to go out here in Mexico. It's 5 lights. And we get away racing then, as lights out, and away we go. It is Harry who tries to get a good start, but not a good one. Then it's Hulu to the inside, and Hulu down into turn 1, down the main straight. Will drag race him to turn 1, and it's Hulu who stays ahead at the moment, but Luigi is trying to get a piece on this one as well down the inside. The Alfa Romeo of Amigo is trying to get a piece on that, but Hulu, who was in second position, is now leading the Grand Prix. It is Luigi who has got the pressure from Amigo at the moment, side by side. Amigo who is pushing Luigi at the moment, but Luigi's got the better exit there, into, well, better drive to the inside even. And the Ferrari, who started from P3, has managed to secure that one lovely at the moment, but the car behind is still pressuring and pressuring. It's in the background. There's a car, the Alpha Tauri, who has gone off the road there, but Hulu leads the Grand Prix from Harry, from Luigi, from Amigo, from Azarakis. Then comes Rooster and PSP. Dan, Velocity, Venom, Corey, and Gandot at the back at the start of this Grand Prix. But it's Hulu who will lead them away still then. And Harry is going to try and get through, but can't get through just as of yet. As we now nearing on to lap 2 out of 36. And we'll see what they can do then, as Hulu is now making a lovely gap already. I mean, it is nearly a second there, but the gap's coming down as we head down the main straight. It is getting smaller, but it won't be enough to get through into turn 1. The gap now coming down to 6 tenths, and it is getting smaller indeed. 5 tenths now down the main straight we all head, and it is Hulu into turn 1 and still leading into this next corner. Just behind that, it is PSP on the outside of Dan, and Dan stays ahead there, and Amigo seems to be having internet issues. Then a side-by-side with Velocity and Corey. And there goes Corey through on that position there. It is Amigo, obviously, who is not in the session anymore. He's going to be losing positions. That is very unfortunate for him after having a great start indeed. And it's Hulu from Harry, from Luigi. The Ferraris forming a sandwich around the car of Harry at the moment. Why has Harry got a Ferrari helmet in a Mercedes? He has as well. Harry with a Ferrari helmet in the Merc then is he's got surrounded by the Ferraris with a Ferrari helmet on, so clearly something going on around here then as we go on to the main straight once again pretty much, and we'll see what can happen racing wise, see if we can get any more overtakes. We've got 2 drivers who are not in the session but still driving, so the AIs are doing that for them then. It's Harry now 7 tenths between him and Hulu, and the DRS is now enabled. So as we head down the main straight, this move's going on here, but it's Amigo who joins back, so he should be in the car any moment now. It's Amigo to the outside, and Amigo is through then, and I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that once he joins back. But then obviously the Mercedes is better at braking than the AI, and Rooster on the outside of the Williams there, PSP, and Rooster is going to stick his car to the inside, but the Williams with a better drive, and the Williams gets through past the McLaren there, as there's battling going on at the back as well, and I think it's Venom past Gandot there. Corey's trying to get a piece on that one as well, but Corey drops down and brakes very, very late there into that corner. And Luigi's dropping back from the top two, and the top two seems to be pulling away, it seems. With an 8/10 gap between him and Hulu. Moves going on at the back as well, which I am missing. Then side by side with the AlphaTauri in the Haas. Wheel banging then as that AlphaTauri's on the outside. The Haas has to back off there and concede the position. And it is the AlphaTauri who gets up ahead through that one this time around. It's Corey on the back side of him. And Corey's got a piece on it and into the inside. He's Gandalf into the wall and perfectly goes into the pit lane. Okay, never mind. Doesn't go into the pit lane. He continues on and has to drive with that wing damage. No front end plate on the right-hand side of that car there. As Rooster and PSP are having now then, and it is Rooster through and past PSP as Corey gets through past Venom this time around, and Corey's making up their positions at the moment, and next up on his list is the teammate of PSP. Hugh and Harry, who have managed to catch up with each other then, and it is 1 and 2 for these two. They go one by one together through these corners, and it's lap 4 out of 36. Harry with not the great corner through there compared to Hulu's one, but we'll have to see what they can do. Going down here then and towards the main straight soon. And anything else going on at the back, it's kind of spread out apart from these two then, which might get closer. It is Rooster and PSP. Obviously Rooster got through past PSP, I think. It's down the main straight then. The gap between first and second is getting smaller, and Harry will put his car down the inside of the Ferrari, and this time, will it work? I don't think it will. The Ferrari is going to push him through these corners. Harry's going to try and stick it on the inside still, but clearly Hulu with a better drive out of that corner as they go drag racing then down into this next one. Into the second set, so they go now. The Ferrari with the drive down the inside, and the Ferrari stays ahead through there. But Mercedes with the switch back when he tried to get them to move down the inside. Pushing him and pushing him. The Ferrari's going to be forced to go to the outside on this corner, but Hulu manages to stay ahead on that lap around, and it's Hulu's line. It's Hulu's position, clearly, on lap 5 out of 36. And still up ahead it is Hulu from Harry, from Luigi, from Azarakis, from Dan. Then behind that comes Amigo, and Amigo's trying to get through past Dan, but it is not going to plan for him at the moment. Then it's down the main straight we go, and it's side by side once again between Harry and Hulu. Who will get out ahead on top of this one? It's Harry to the inside, and Harry will be up and ahead into P1 for now. The Ferrari's not giving this one away though, as the number 12 Ferrari tries to get ahead still, but the Mercedes forces him off wide. And this time around, the Mercedes will get the better drive and the better exit out of that corner and stay ahead then into P1 on lap 6 out of 36. And that is lovely, lovely stuff then for Harry, and he will be happy to know that he has got through Hulu that time around, and it is the two Ferraris reunited back in 2 and 3. Azarakis forward, Dan 5th, and behind that still comes Amigo, but he's not getting close enough to get any moves done yet. It's probably the closest we've got at the minute. Is definitely not them actually. Harry with a 3-second time penalty, and then I'll change it. There's the Ferrari's going to try to the inside of him, but he does not succeed with that one just there as the Mercedes continues on in first position. But coming out of the stadium section now, we'll see what they can do then as they head onto the main straight now, and it is Harry up ahead with 5/10 gap, but he has got a 3-second time penalty now as the Ferrari is in hot pursuit of the Mercedes then as they head down the main straight with the slipstream. Hulu is trying to take all the slipstream that he possibly can then down the straight. He goes to the outside of the corner, and can Hulu clear him before the corner? Yes, he does, and the Ferrari is back once again ahead through past Harry. And we are going in a heck of a battle here then. It's just going to be back and forth scrapping between these two. It's side by side, and Rooster is going to be on the inside of this one. PSP trying to challenge him down the inside now. who will get the better exit. It's all about the exits through here. Then it's Brewster doesn't get a great one then. As PSP is going to go to the outside and then to the inside of the corner actually. And can the Williams outrun him? Down into the inside. No, he cannot. And the McLaren stays up and ahead through past there. Then that is lovely racing, I must say. As up ahead, Hughley went off the track there. I didn't even see that. Then is Rooster with a 3-second time, but it's in. It is Harry. Harry now then as they head into the stadium section of the Mexico Grand Prix circuit. Rooster is out of session and we have a safety car on lap 7 out of 36. And a big crash then into the wall in sector 2, and that is the first person to be caught out by it in this race that I've seen. And Harry goes into the pit lane. The Ferrari boys continue on, and Drew's prediction finally comes true on lap 8 out of 36, but we'll have to see how long that stays for then. It is a Ferrari 1-2 as it stands, as it is Harry 3rd, Amigo 4th, Azaraki's 5th, Dan 6th, PSP 7 who goes into the pit lane, Corey in the pit lane 2, Venom, and Velocity's not actually in the game. We'll see what Venom can do. Will Venom go into the pit lane? Yes, he does. Velocity stays out, as Gandot will probably be coming around to go in the pit lane as well. But the two Ferrari boys, Hulu and Luigi, who have found themselves behind the red safety car, the red Mercedes safety car, and funnily enough, the Mercedes that they have been battling all race long so far. But that is surely not one that they want to be battling. Up ahead, it's going to be the one that will be coming up behind them soon of Harry. He will be coming up behind them soon, and then the Red Bull, and then the other Mercedes. Maybe the other Mercedes can get through and try and give his teammate a bit of a push and help him up there, but we'll have to see after the safety car restart. As going on to lap 9 out of 36, and it is the two Ferrari boys even. Two Ferrari boys, and then it's Harry, Azarakis, Dan, Amigo, Velocity, PSP, Corey, Venom, and Gandot. Rooster, the driver, who has retired from the session. Safety car, Drew is back. Yes, mate, it is safety car. And thank you for coming back, because obviously safety car conditions without Garrison isn't too good, and Garrison's gone AWOL. I haven't spoke to him in ages. If Azarakis, yeah, mate, Drew, mate, I thought you were here, so I was I said I'd give you a little speech. I was like, Drew's predictions come true on lap 8, but he wasn't there. But we'll have to get that off stream after, as everybody apart from the two at the back have caught up to the safety car, and it might be coming in at the end of this lap. It might be at the end of the next one. We just don't know then until they head over the sector 2 line. But we'll have to see when the safety car decides to bring himself in. Mercedes in the background. What's he doing? Harry? Where's Harry gone? Retires from the session then. We did not want that really, because he was the one that was bringing all the racing action in. But for Drew's prediction, it is everything that he has wanted then. It's Hulu, Luigi, and Azarakis who will be starting off the driver's order. And Drew is happy with that one then, as it will be a Ferrari 1-2 starting this race. Azarakis 3rd, and Drew's prediction is completely true at the moment. How on earth has he predicted that? As we get ready to go racing again, the safety car's in, and Hulu will be the one to drive them away then as he gets racing down the straight. And we are racing once again here in Mexico. It's Hulu who will lead them away from Luigi, his teammate in P2, and he's got Azarakis to look for on the back end of him. But Azarakis has got the Mercedes just behind as well. We'll see what he can do then. Is Dan going to try and pressure him into turn 1? No, he doesn't. And the Ferrari boys up ahead stay in their positions there, as Azarakis is probably closest to Luigi than ever now. But the Mercedes is pushing the Red Bull through the corners, and we'll see what he can do going into the next few here. Moves at the back, velocity's moving down at the moment, but there we go. Moves going on at the back here. You can see everybody at the front is all bunched up on lap 10. And there, up ahead goes Azarakis, who's going to try and get through past Luigi. Can he get through there? Nearly pushing him through the corners there, but doesn't make contact with him, luckily. As now, that is going to open up the position for the Mercedes. Then he's going to try and get through there, and has to back off through the corner, as he would have completely put them both in the wall. As Dan is not going to give up then. He's got the car behind him, trying for the move down the inside, and Amigo ruins that corner for himself there, and has to back off just a little bit. But let's keep watching this one then. It's Dan who is on the back end of Azarakis still as we go. Oh my god, Dan nearly went into the wall. And that is going to open up the position for Amigo then to fly through past the Mercedes. And that is lovely, lovely stuff indeed for the Alfa Romeo, who flies past and through the Mercedes. But we'll see what the Mercedes can do going into turn 1 then. Azarakis is going to try and challenge Luigi around the outside, and the Red Bull is going to really push himself, and the Red Bull is through around the outside, and that was a simply lovely move from Azarakis there. Can Luigi bring anything out the bag? Has he got anything in store then to try and get back and through? I don't think he does on this lap around, and now he's going to have the pressure from behind of Amigo. Oh, that is so unlucky. So unlucky indeed. As up ahead, it is Hulu from Azarakis, Luigi, and then on the back end of Luigi, he has the 3 drivers of Amigo. Well, 2 drivers actually, Amigo, Dan, and Corey actually, who is trying to catch up behind. But Luigi, who's already dropped down 1, is being challenged by the 2 drivers at the back, and they are absolutely well hungry for this one then. Is Luigi still ahead, but we'll have to see how long that one stays for then, as DRS is now enabled as we head down onto the massive long straight. And up ahead, Azarakis is challenging for the lead. Can he get through past Hulu? Into turn 1 we go, but let's keep focusing on this one behind then. There's side-by-side action between Amigo and Corey. Dan's trying to get through past Luigi, but he can't make the move. And Azarakis was trying to get through past Hulu. And he can't get through there, but as we head towards the next few turns, Azarakis looks to move down the inside, but it clearly is not there for him this time around. And it's Hulu who will still lead on lap 12 out of 36, but he's got the pressure definitely now from Azarakis behind, and that is a definite. As look at all these drivers getting close then, as the Alfa Romeo sent the car down the inside of the Mercedes, and the Alfa Romeo is through for now. But the Mercedes with the better exit on that turn there. The Ferrari of Luigi stays ahead after all of the commotion behind him, but it's Dan on 4. It is Amigo 5th. Corey 6th, PSP 7th at the moment, and look at the drivers going down here then. Amigo has got the chance to overtake 2 here then. Amigo to the inside of 1. Can he get the other one then? No, he cannot, as he does get through past the Mercedes for now. The Mercedes 6 sticks in on the outside, now to the inside. Can he get through? Look, this is brilliant racing then, as Luigi stays ahead. Luigi is still being challenged, but the drivers behind are making it easier for him to stay ahead. This time around though, I think the Mercedes might be able to just do it then, as they head down the main straight. The Mercedes has got the slipstream on the Ferrari. The Ferrari is a sitting duck in this situation, as Luigi drops back, and Dan in the Mercedes gets redemption for his teammate and moves up to P3 at the moment then, as just behind it's Amigo trying to get through past Luigi. Luigi's already dropped down 1. He's had enough problems in his life already, and now Amigo's trying to take another one off him. Can he take it then down the inside? Amigo is going to try and get through past the Ferrari, and does he do it? Yes, he does indeed then. And Luigi drops down to P5, and Azarakis is actually leading the Grand Prix now. I didn't even see that. Azarakis is now leading, and Hulu's 2nd, and the Ferrari boys, who were once 1-2, are now 2-5. This is mad close for a 10 driver race then, as PSP He's on the back end of Luigi, and Luigi's already dropped down 2. I did say that he's had enough problems already. And oh my god, he does not want another one then as PSP is there to try and get through. Maybe onto the main straight we go. As now onto the straight. And Luigi is ahead of PSP as PSP has got the slipstream going down the straight on lap 14 out of 36. The Williams car has got the DRS in the slipstream as well as they go into turn 1. And can PSP get even closer? The Ferrari will try and set it down in the inside of the Alfa Romeo. Try and get that position back. That is going to try and open it up for PSP. PSP will try and get a better exit out of here and try and get past the Ferrari there, but he's not good enough to do it on that lap around. And there's someone going around. It's Dan, who has made up so many positions and now dropped back to P8. He's spun around and had a bit of a moment there. But he continues on as the Williams down the inside of the Ferrari of Luigi. Luigi sticks it on the outside, now opens up for the inside turn bend here. And Luigi stays ahead on that time around. But Azarakis then, who is now a second ahead of Hulu and moves going on the back, I think there. Never mind, it's Dan who's gone round once again. Dan is having a shocker after having a good race so far, and now not too good at all for him. As the 3-car DRS train then is down the inside, goes PSP on Luigi. Luigi's dropped down 2 now and 3. That'll make it. He nearly got double overtaken by the Williams boys, and he will get done now then. Maybe. So Williams was trying to, but he could not make that one work at the moment. But he does get, well, doesn't actually, tries to get the better exit out of that corner. But Luigi gets the far better one out of there, and he's dropped down quite a few. But Luigi is down in P5 at the moment. And after all the battling up ahead, it's Azarakis who will be leading the Grand Prix then still with 1.3 second gap. And it's Hulu second, Amigo in third, PSP for Luigi, who has got Corey on his back end. And Luigi's just not quick enough to stay ahead of all of these drivers. It is sad to say, as he keeps on dropping down the order on this track. He takes a bollard down, Corey does, as they go onto the main straight next. And Luigi's most probably going to be defenseless going on to here then, as it will be Corey with the DRS, and Luigi will not be picking up the DRS as Corey has got his rear wing wide open there on the back end, and he's going to try and fly past Luigi before the corner, and it will be easy and simple work for Corey past Luigi, who gets through just before the corner there. But Luigi's going to stick it on the inside, and it doesn't work out for him. Corey gets up and ahead. Dan retires in the pit lane, and we have 9 drivers left with 16 minutes. 60 minutes? I'm thinking about qualifying. 16 laps out of 36, and we are nearing halfway. We're getting there. We're getting there. So if we go back to Drew's predictions, he did say Hulu 1, Luigi 2, and it'll be he wanted where was he? Azarakis to be P3, but that has all gone down the drain for him, and it's Azarakis who he wanted to be through P3 has gone up to P1 and leading the Grand Prix 1.7 now. It'll be Hulu second. Azarakis on fire. Yes, he is indeed. Jesus Christ, he has drunk that Red Bull today, because look how fast he is out there at the moment. 1.9 seconds the gap now, and it is gaining 2 seconds now. Keeps getting bigger then as we go through the laps, and the laps keep ticking up and up as we have the two Williams drivers fairly close to each other now, and everybody is starting to spread out a little bit every lap that goes by. Especially the top three. The top three are not as close as they were earlier. As these two will continue to keep fighting and battling then going on to the main straight. It's the Williams boys, and we'll have to see who comes out ahead. It's PSP who is officially ahead at the moment, and Corey's in the 5th position for now. But as they move on to the main straight, it is PSP ahead, but not for long then. It's Corey. He's going to try and send it past him there, and it is Corey who gets up and through past PSP on that lap just there. The Williams drivers, it is no team orders for them. I mean, they're just allowed to set free and race as hard as they want with each other. And Corey is up and through. Chat, what are you getting for SSK? I don't know, Drew. I really don't know. I'll message you about it later because I have no idea what I'm going to get. And I need to get it in by like a week, don't I? So I'll have to I'll have to see. I don't really know, to be fair. We need to get our heads together about it. As PSP is on the back end of his teammate, obviously, because he got overtaken, but is he in a position to fight back as we go down the main straight soon? He's looking like a possibility then, as it is 6 tenths between him and his teammate. We'll have to see what he can do going on to the main straight. It is Azarakis who is still ahead by 2 seconds, and it's Hulu's second. Mate, mine's all came. Yeah, I know yours has come well fast. Jesus Christ. As we go on to the main straight, and lap 19 out of 36. We are over halfway now, a race distance, and the Williams boys continue to keep fighting, but nothing goes on between them at the moment, and pretty much the race has died down. And obviously with only 9 drivers on the grid, there's not really too much to commentate on. I mean, at the start, I will admit it was a decent show. We got a good show, and I did enjoy it. But now it's going to start to die down, and that is partly due to the DNFs that we have had throughout the race so far. You should get her some face socks with Kobe's head on, because she hates that. That would actually be a brilliant one, you know. If you've got a photo of him, send it then. Oh my God, Corey goes round into the wall. And that is a VSC then, as he loses all his winging on lap 19 out of 36. The Williams of Corey absolutely bottles it and puts his car in that barrier there. He continues on, luckily, but that was very, very unfortunate indeed for him. As Corey goes into the pit box, and we'll see where he can put himself after the safety car virtual safety car restart happens. It is Gandalf with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Not too good indeed, mate, as we go racing once again. And there was drivers that tried to get a free pit stop in there, but I must admit, Azarakis did go into the pits to come out now on soft mediums, and let's just say Hulu is up there and leading the race. And Drew's predictions are back as they were, back as he wanted them, and on lap 20 out of 36, that is the way they will stay for now, with the gap 11.3 seconds. Obviously Hulu and Luigi on the older mediums, so we'll have to see how this one pans out. They are going to have to pit at some point. They have not pitted yet, And we'll see when they decide to do that then, as it's Hulu and Luigi, and then comes Azarakis. Drew is completely goated. And Hulu continues on and thinks these tyres can go even longer. He clearly seems to not be losing any time on them yet, so we'll have to see what he can do then. And it's Hulu first. It is 11.3 seconds, 11.2 now. The gap, 11.1 now, 11.0. And that gap keeps coming down between him and Luigi at the moment. Luigi seems to be gaining a little bit there as Amigo gets a 3-second time penalty. And Azaraki is, I hate to say it, but is gaining on the back end of Luigi. And Drew's predictions may not stay this way for any longer than only a few laps time, and maybe not even a few laps time. He's probably going to get it on the main straight, let's be honest. Azarakis, who has been leading this race for the majority of it, to be fair, will go on to the main straight next, and here's to be hunting down Luigi. As now, on to the main straight we go, and Azaraki, who has been ahead for a long while, is trying to be in hot pursuit and get through past the cars ahead of him to make a roadblock and try and get through to beat the lead again. Azarakis then goes down the inside and he's going to go past the Ferrari of Luigi, and now he's got to find the time of 11.4 seconds. But now he's passed through Luigi, it'll be a lot easier for him to catch up to Hulu. If I was Hulu, I'll be bricking it now, to be fair, because he is rapid at the moment out there. Velocity is not in the game, and down in P9 at the moment, but it will still be points. I don't know if they'll give it in because it's his AI, but still points. Gandot, who is out there just having a race of his own, really. You know, in P8 it's still points for him, so why would he stop? You know, don't blame the man, as Corey is on the back end of Venom. Maybe he can catch up a bit more soon, we'll have to see. It's PSP, it crashes across the line, and yeah, now everybody, apart from Hulu and Luigi, have pitted. So let's see how much longer they can run on these mediums, because Hulu's going to have to pit soon because the gap between him and Azaraki is coming down. And I think he should pit very soon, because if it comes down anymore, it's going to be absolutely shafted. Absolutely shafted indeed in getting where he wants to be. As these two seem to be having a little go at it then, as Amigo gets through past Luigi. I didn't even mention that. They got through past each other, and there's a bit of moves going on at the back. Corey and Venom. Corey managed to get a bit closer to Venom this time around, luckily. And finally, Hulu and maybe Luigi. Yes, going into the pit lane. Azarakis now regains the lead at the Grand Prix, and it is Hulu who goes on to these softs. And how nice is it to hear that, because they are going to be absolutely rapid. So does Luigi, and that is what we want to see then. Hulu and Luigi both on these soft compound tyres then, as they are coming out of the pit lane, and Hulu's already at the top end. Amigo got through as well, but now on the soft compound tyres, we're going to have to see if Hulu and Luigi have got it in themselves to try and gain the time. They've got the laps to do it. Just about if they have got the mentality to keep pushing on and see if they can do it indeed. Then that's going to be very fun to see, as we don't have too long left, to be fair. Not too long left at all, really. So we'll have to see what will go on. About 12 laps remaining in this race just here. And Azaraki's obviously regained the lead, but the gap between Hulu and Amigo is 8.5, 8.6. And let's keep an eye on that one, because we'll see if it's coming down or not. At the moment, it seems to be coming down by a rate of knots, but that might just be my eyes. It is coming down by a rate of knots, actually, as it now goes on to the main straight, and it's Hulu who is trying his best to gain on Amigo, and we'll see if he can go any quicker. He goes quickest in the final sector, so we'll have to see where he can get himself in the next coming laps. Oh, Jack, do you know Sam Smith? Yeah, what about him? I'm guessing you mean in the guy we knew, not the celebrity. And yeah, pretty much everything is spread out now, but we'll have to see. Where Hulu can get himself. I mean, he's trying to get himself up there, but I think he's got the time to do it, and hopefully he can do it. Then as Azarakis is still leading from Amigo, and then from Hulu, who goes quickest in the middle sector. I'll send a vid. All right, I do want to see that. I've not seen him for years. And Hulu on that lap around goes quickest, so he is gaining 6.7 seconds now, the gap. And 10 laps to go then out here in Mexico. 9 drivers on the grid left with us, and hopefully we don't lose any more, else it will be horrible. But we are going to try and put on a show for you still. The gap between Hulu and Amigo has come down to 6.1, and it is getting smaller each lap we go by. I know, Drew, mate, how have you got a video of that anyway? Blonde perm, oh no. And the gap between Amigo and Hulu is now 4.9, 4.8, and that is just coming down at a rate of knots. Then as Hulu towards the line and across the line, down the main straight he goes, and he is gaining rapidly on Amigo, and you can see him just at the bottom end of that straight there, just about. He's only a tiny speck, but you can see him just at the bottom, and he is gaining. So lap 27 out of 36, and Hulu is now 3.4 seconds behind Amigo, and seems to be gaining even more as Azarakis is still leading with 2.3 seconds, the safe gap between him and Amigo, and we'll have to see if that comes down or goes up. But Hulu is definitely the man out here at the minute to watch, as he is gaining on the back end of Amigo, and the gap is 2.7. It was about 8 seconds, about 4 laps ago, and it's come down by very much then as we go to the end of the main straight. And the small specks that they once were are becoming a bit bigger specks now, as you can see. Gap 2.6, 2.7, it's fluctuating, but Hulu has got him in his sights, and now he can see what he's been working for, and now he has got the drive to try and go quicker, because he can see what he's trying to overtake, and we'll see if he can get up there in the next few laps then. My data is telling me Luigi will have overtaking chance in 1 lap time. Might have overtaking chance down the inside this time, and he does go through and past PSP, and Luigi gets up into P4 on the new softs. Love that, as Hulu, well, the gap between and Hulu in 5 laps time. Okay. I think 5 laps quite a bit of a push, Drew. 1.4 seconds now between him and Amigo. Gandot then with a 3-second time penalty is now onto the main straight, and let me just tell you, the gap between Hilo and Amigo is pretty much a second now as we go down the main straight, and like I mentioned, the small dots that they once were, the small specks, are becoming full-size cars now. As he will try and continue to push, and in 5 laps he's managed to gain about 7.2 seconds, and now 8 tenths between him and Amigo, and the small specks has now become massive. Then he can see it right in front of him. He's right behind him. It's Hulu on the back end of Amigo, and we might be able to see the move before lap 30 as he is pushing him through the corners pretty much soon. Bit iffy on the exit, which ruins that corner for him, and Amigo managed to pull away just a bit, but Hulu is not giving this one away then at all, as he will continue on and try and keep the toe on the back end and see if he can get through past the stadium section. Hulu hasn't got his teammate to help him on this lap around, but Amigo is just up ahead, and the gap is 3 tenths of a second now. Hulu has made up all the time then in that in the Ferrari then as they go onto the main straight. And it is Hulu on the back end of Amigo. Finally then, the move we've all been waiting for this weekend, and Hulu finally on lap 30 out of 36 gets through and past Amigo then in the Ferrari, and that is lovely, lovely stuff. On lap 30, and next in his sights is Azarakis, and let me just tell you then, the gap is now 1.7, and Hulu is quicker than Azarakis at the moment, so it went from, and he went quickest in the first section as well, let me just say, so it went from being a brilliant race to a boring race to it's coming back to be a good last few laps then as a VSC at the end. Well, near the end anyway, and wasn't expecting that one. Where's that one come from? But it is a VSC. So VSC on lap 30 out of 36. Since Azarakis still leading from Hulu, from Amigo, from Luigi, PSP, Venom, Corey, Gandot, and Velocity down in P9. As DRS is now enabled straight away, we get ready to go racing again. We are racing again now. I'm telling you, Hulu, Luigi, and Azarakis. Let's see then as we get to the end of this race. The gap between Hulu and Amigos is 16.8, and in 5 laps, Drew was telling us that he'll make him up, but now never mind, he doesn't think he will. Azarakis still leading, but Hulu now with the 1.3 second, 1.2 second gap there between him and the car ahead. And let's see then where Hulu can put himself. The car that has been lapped of Gandot moves out of the way, and Hulu now is set free. The beast has been unleashed then as Hulu on the fairly new soft compound tyres It's now 8 tenths, 7 tenths now, 6 tenths, and that gap keeps coming down by a rate of knots then behind Azarakis. It's coming down to 5 tenths now. It's coming down to 4 tenths now as we go into the stadium section. And Azarakis, the man who has been ahead for so long, is about to be overtaken by Hulu then as we head onto the main straight. And let's see if the man in red can get the job done then as we go onto the main straight. And the softs against the hards this time around. Who will come out ahead? Azarakis moving a bit there to try and break it. So Hulu will be in the backside, and after leading for so many laps, Azarakis drops down to second, and Hulu, the pit strategy worked brilliantly for him, and he gets up and passed through Azarakis on lap 32 out of 36, and what a game plan from Hulu. It worked brilliantly, staying out late on their mediums, coming onto the soft compound tyres. And that was a brilliant, brilliant strategic play there for him, as Azarakis probably won't be in a position to stay ahead or even challenge. I mean, Luigi's made up quite a few seconds, 14.5 seconds now, the gap. As now leading, it is Hulu on lap 32 out of 36. Azarakis second with the gap already a second. Amigo third then. And Luigi, 14.2 seconds, the gap between him and Amigo. That gap will definitely not come right down towards the end. But you can try and get it smaller. But the stuff to watch in a minute is probably the stuff up ahead. Is there anything going on up ahead? I'm not too sure at all. The gap now between Hilo and Azarakis is 1.7. And the Red Bull is absolutely defenseless. He cannot get himself up. He's losing time like it's absolutely nothing. And he's coming. He is getting the time down a little bit down the straight, but it's not enough to get past him at all. Hulu will stay ahead for another lap, and 3 laps to go for this Grand Prix. .9 now separating 1 and 2, and now 2 seconds, and you can see clearly the speed difference. Am I the only one in chat or what? In this chat or what? Oh, I know that there's 4 people in here, mate, so there's not a lot in here today. Because I think it's because there's only 12 of them racing, so not everyone's really come on the stream. Compared to if it was a full race and everything, so we would have had a lot more, but I think you are the only one in this chat, because if I go on my laptop now and scroll up, it's just Drew the whole way down. But I appreciate you being here, because it helps me out quite a lot, and it gives me someone to talk to as we move on to lap 34 out of 36, and the gap between 1 and 2 is still gaining. I don't even need to say it anymore, because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger as we go up the laps. Was that position moves? Yes, it is then. Finally some overtaking then, as it is Corey on the inside. Then Corey is, in a minute, through and past Venom. But how long will that stay for then, as Venom has to drop back in that Haas car? And it is Corey who gets up and up into P6 on that time around. Luigi's gaining on the back marker there. The back marker goes behind of Velocity. And Luigi has made up a bit of time in the last few laps. 12.6 seconds, 12.5 now. But we'll have to see where he can get himself. It definitely won't be where Drew said, but we'll see how much time he can gain. You got to remember, Amigo's got time penalty, PSP, Corey, and Gandot, all with penalties then this weekend at the moment, as Hulu is just driving a brilliant race at the moment in the Ferrari. And, I'm going to really quickly check who won last race. I cannot remember who it was. It was Hulu on time penalties, wasn't it? So, at the minute, as it stands, Hulu is on for a second consecutive win here in GFR. And on the penultimate lap, heading round to pretty much start the final lap of the race today. It is all going in the favour of Hulu in that red Ferrari with the red soft compound tyres on as well. The gap 4.1 between him and Azarakis, and let's just say Hulu's plan worked brilliantly this weekend as he will head across the line and start the final lap of the weekend for today. And it's Azarakis in second, then he's been not being challenged by anyone actually, it's a back marker, so I will completely forget about that. And I mean, probably the best we can do for now is just continue to spectate Hulu on his final lap of the race today, and we just reflect on the race today. Really, I mean, Hulu has had a brilliant one. Drew predicted him to win. His predictions won't come completely true, but it'll come true in this sense, as Hulu will come across the line and hopefully win the race if he doesn't make any mistakes towards the end into Sector 2. And he has had a good race. Obviously, Azarakis was leading most of it, and Amigo's put up good fights, Luigi's put up good fights, but really, it was the Ferrari boys this weekend of Hulu and Luigi that got the strategy nailed down, and it was absolutely brilliant. Hulu knows that it's his win this weekend. The fireworks are already going off and celebrating. Hulu goes around the final corner. He won out last week in the USA. He wins out this week in Mexico. It's Hulu who comes across the line to win the Mexican Grand Prix, then from Azarakis, and then from Amigo, who comes across the line to finish in P3. And what a drive from the top four then this weekend as Luigi comes across the line and finishes in P4 here in Mexico. And that was an absolutely simply lovely drive from everybody today. Hulu, the man who won last week on penalties, comes across the line and wins this one on track. That is what we love to see. It is Corey who will come across the line and finish in P6, I believe. Yes, it will be. Bye-bye, Jack. Bye-bye, Drew. Thanks for joining me. See you in a bit. Corey in P6. Venom to cross the line and finish in 7th, and that'll be the end of the race for you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me, because that was a long one. But thank you for sticking around. It means a lot. As you now have the podium celebrations, everybody. Finally, a bit of luck. Everybody, that is the finishing results then for the race here in Mexico. Hulu won out last weekend in the USA. The USA driver wins out in Mexico. And what a drive from everybody today. Well done to everybody indeed. And it's Hulu first, Azarakis second, and Amigo to cross the line and finish off the top 3 this weekend. Then it's Luigi 4. PSP 5th, Corey 6th, Venom 7th, Gandot 8th, Velocity 9, Dan 10, Harry 11, and Rooster Pete 12. But thank you for joining me, everybody. It has been a pleasure to commentate for you once again, and I'll be with you once again next week. Have a good one, everyone.